Donald Trump, as you know, was convicted on 34 counts last week in New York. And it's a surprise to absolutely no one that he is not giving up the fight. In fact, the Donald doesn't just want a regular appeal. You know, everybody that loses in court wants a regular appeal. Donald Trump wants the Supreme Court to intervene. He is literally calling on the Supreme Court to step in on his felony fraud conviction case before the July sentencing. Now, on Thursday, again, the president became the first U.S. president to be convicted of a felony. A jury found him guilty of 34 felony counts of falsifying business records. And effectively, he paid porn star Stormy Daniels to conceal their sexual relationship for all the reasons that a presidential candidate wouldn't want the world to know that he had a sexual relationship with a porn star. Now, I'm not shaming porn stars. I'm not shaming sex work at all. I'm simply saying that that was his political calculus. That said, Trump ain't wanted to come out in the 2016 presidential campaign. So what does he do? He hides it, and the jury found him guilty. But on Sunday, after being found guilty, Trump did what he always does. He used to go to Twitter. Now he goes to Truth Social, his own social media platform. And he says, a radical left Soros-backed district attorney who ran on a platform of I will get Trump, reporting to an acting local judge appointed by the Democrats, who is highly conflicted, will make a decision which will determine the future of our nation. The United States Supreme Court must decide. So Trump is making this very clear. He's making an argument that if you read it really fast, squint your eyes and don't think much, makes sense. He's saying that there are people of a political party who came after me, found me guilty, and as a consequence of being found guilty, it may change the outcome of a presidential election. And so therefore, those local New York Democrats are determining the fate of our country. That's wrong. The Supreme Court has to step in. Now, maybe the Supreme Court will find his argument persuasive. I don't see how, but they might. Trump is effectively arguing that a political witch hunt happened that is now going to result in a different outcome to the presidential election. There's a few problems with that. One, let's start from the most obvious. There's absolutely no evidence that the American people give a damn that Donald Trump was convicted of a felony. His fundraising went up. His support in the polls stayed the same. If anything, Joe Biden should be looking crazy. Like, yo, this dude is a convicted felon, and yet I still can't win. That says more about you, Biden, than it does about Trump. But that said, there are some very serious questions that have to get answered here. One is, did this actually affect the election? Trump is already saying it did before he loses, which is a classic Trump thing to do. When he ran the first time, he said Hillary cheated, courts cheated, the media cheated, everybody cheated. So he sets a table where he looks like he's being victimized and wronged. And then if he loses, he says, see, told you they cheated. And if he wins, he says, I won even though you cheated. He did the same thing the second time against Biden, laid the same things out. This time he lost. And he said, look, I've been telling you the whole time they're cheating. Look, they're cheating. Turns out, based on a lot of the evidence, Trump was the one who was trying to cheat, right? Trying to get election results overturned in various states. All of that said, it is Trump who is now for a third time saying, this time not in an election, but in the trial, saying, look, everything was against me. I was cheated. These people were backed by Democrats. The liberals appointed these people. Here's the problem with that argument. If I am to believe, based on Donald Trump's logic, that democratically appointed people can't properly assess or adjudicate a case from a Republican, or that these particular Democrats have an investment in not supporting Trump, then I have to ask the same question on the other side. How am I to believe, why am I to believe that a Supreme Court with a 6-3 conservative majority can properly rule on a case. And you can say, well, these aren't political offices. 3 of the 6 people on the Supreme Court, 3 of the 6 conservatives on the Supreme Court, literally the people that create the advantage for conservatives, if not for Trump's appointees, it's 3-3. Trump makes it 6-3 with his appointees. Trump's appointees are literally going to decide the fate of the nation, to use Trump's language. So if the political logics that brought the DA into office, if the political logics that brought the prosecution's case to the forefront in Trump's mind, if those things are not legitimate, then how the hell is the Supreme Court somehow now unbiased? Now you say the Supreme Court's supposed to be unbiased. I agree. So is the New York court. So is the New York judge. So is the New York jury. So is the New York DA. Everybody's supposed to play by the rules. Now Trump's saying nobody plays by the rules except the people who agree with him. It ain't going to happen. But we'll find out soon, because Trump's sentencing is set for July 11th. And I don't imagine the Supreme Court stepping in before then. I think after he's sentenced, he will take it to the highest courts in the land, and he may get seen. His case may get heard. He's earned that. But I don't think it's going to be worth much. I don't think it's going to be worth much. I think that he will be dissatisfied with the outcome. Let's just say that. Leslie Young said, can the federal Supreme Court take on a state court trials decision? I mean, we see state court decisions taken to the Supreme Court all the time. It's not just U.S. federal cases that get taken to the Supreme Court. Look at the case of political prisoners like Mumia Abu-Jamal. It starts in the state court. It should go to the superior courts. It should go to the state Supreme Court. And then after the state Supreme Court, it should go up. So there are levels to the court. It should go to federal district court, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But it absolutely, absolutely can go up to the Supreme Court. Otherwise, people wouldn't have any relief, except people convicted of federal crimes. And we wouldn't want that.